Lepers. Then the Blessed One, having encompassed the awareness of the entire assembly with his awareness, asked himself, now who here is capable of understanding the Dhamma? He saw Suppabuddha the leper sitting in the assembly, and on seeing him the thought occurred to him, this person here is capable of understanding the Dhamma. So, aiming at Suppabuddha the leper, he gave a step-by-step talk, i.e., a talk on generosity, on virtue, on heaven. He declared the drawbacks, degradation, and corruption of sensual passions, and the rewards of renunciation. Then when he saw that Suppabuddha the leper's mind was ready, malleable, free from hindrances, elated, and bright, he then gave the Dhamma talk peculiar to awakened ones, i.e., stress, origination, cessation, and path. And just as a clean cloth, free of stains, would properly absorb a dye, in the same way, as Suppabuddha the leper was sitting in that very seat, the dustless, stainless Dhamma I arose within him. Whatever is subject to origination is all subject to cessation. UD 5.3. Kings. Then King Pasenadi Kosala approached the Blessed One in the middle of the day and, on arrival, having bowed down, sat to one side. As he was sitting there, the Blessed One said to him, "Well now, great king, where are you coming from in the middle of the day?" "Just now, Lord, I was engaged in the sort of royal affairs typical of head-anointed noble warrior kings intoxicated with the intoxication of sovereignty, obsessed by greed for sensual pleasures, who have attained stable control in their country, and who rule having conquered a great sphere of territory on earth. What do you think, great king? Suppose a man, trustworthy and reliable, were to come to you from the east and on arrival would say, 'If it please your majesty, you should know that I come from the east. There I saw a great mountain, as high as the clouds, coming this way, crushing all living beings, in its path. Do whatever you think should be done.' Then a second man were to come to you from the west. Then a third man were to come to you from the north. Then a fourth man were to come to you from the south and on arrival would say, 'If it please your majesty, you should know that I come from the south. There I saw a great mountain, as high as the clouds, coming this way, crushing all living beings. Do whatever you think should be done. If, your majesty, such a great peril should arise, such a terrible destruction of human life, the human state being so hard to obtain, what should be done? If, Lord, such a great peril should arise, such a terrible destruction of human life, the human state being so hard to obtain, what else should be done but Dhamma conduct, right conduct, skillful deeds, meritorious deeds? I inform you, great king, I announce to you, great king, aging and death are rolling in on you. When aging and death are rolling in on you, great king, what should be done? As aging and death are rolling in on me, Lord, what else should be done but Dhamma conduct, right conduct, skillful deeds, meritorious deeds? So it is, great king. So it is, great king. As aging and death are rolling in on you, what else should be done but Dhamma conduct, right conduct, skillful deeds, meritorious deeds? SN 3.25. Outcasts. In a lowly family I was born. Poor, with next to no food. My work was degrading. I gathered the spoiled, the withered flowers from shrines, and threw them away. People found me disgusting, despised me, disparaged me. Lowering my heart, I showed reverence to many. Then I saw the One Self awakened, arrayed with a squadron of monks. The great hero, entering the city, supreme, of the Magadhans. Throwing down my carrying pole, I approached him to do reverence. He, the supreme man, stood still, out of sympathy, just for me. After paying homage to the feet of the teacher, I stood to one side and requested the going forth from him. Supreme among all living beings, the compassionate teacher, sympathetic to all the world, said, "Come, monk." That was my formal acceptance. Alone, I stayed in the wilds. Untiring, I followed the teacher's words, just as he, the conqueror, had taught me. In the first watch of the night, I recollected previous lives. In the middle watch, purified the divine eye. In the last, burst the mass of darkness. Then, as night was ending, and the sun returning, Indra and Brahma came to pay homage to me. Hands palm to palm at their hearts. Homage to you, O thoroughbred of men. Homage to you, O man supreme, whose fermentations are ended. You, dear sir, are worthy of offerings. Fag 12.2. Seekers from other spiritual traditions. Then Punna, a son of the Kolians and an ox-duty ascetic, and also Seniya, a naked dog-duty ascetic, went to the Blessed One, and Punna the ox-duty ascetic paid homage to the Blessed One and sat down at one side, while Seniya the naked dog-duty ascetic exchanged greetings with the Blessed One, and when the courteous and amiable talk was finished, he too sat down at one side curled up like a dog. When Punna the ox-duty ascetic sat down, he asked the Blessed One, Venerable Sir, this naked dog-duty ascetic Seniya does what is hard to do, he eats his food when it is thrown on the ground. That dog duty has long been taken up and practiced by him. What will be his destination? What will be his future course? Enough, Punna, let that be. Do not ask me that. A second time. A third time Punna the ox-duty ascetic asked the Blessed One, Venerable Sir, this naked dog-duty ascetic Seniya does what is hard to do, he eats his food when it is thrown on the ground. That dog duty has long been taken up and practiced by him. What will be his destination? What will be his future course? Well, Punna, since I certainly cannot persuade you when I say, enough, Punna, let that be. Do not ask me that, I shall therefore answer you. Here, Punna, someone develops the dog duty fully and unstintingly, he develops the dog habit fully and unstintingly, he develops the dog mind fully and unstintingly, he develops dog behavior fully and unstintingly. Having done that, on the dissolution of the body, after death, he reappears in the company of dogs. But if his view is such as this, by this virtue or duty or asceticism or religious life I shall become a great God or some lesser God, that is wrong view in his case. Now there are two destinations for one with wrong view, I say, hell or the animal womb. So, Punna, if his dog duty is perfected, it will lead him to the company of dogs, if it is not, it will lead him to hell. MN 57. And heavenly beings. Many hundred assemblies of gods of the heaven of the 4 great kings. Many hundred assemblies of gods of the heaven of the 33. Many hundred assemblies of Mara's retinue. Many hundred assemblies of Brahmas. And formerly I had sat with them there and talked with them and held conversations with them. MN 12. The Buddha teaches his family, including his son Rahula, renouncing the 5 pleasures of sense that entrance and delight the mind, and in faith departing from home, become one who makes an end of suffering. Associate with good friends and choose a remote lodging, secluded, with little noise. Be moderate in eating. Robes, alms food, remedies and a dwelling, do not have craving for these things, do not be one who returns to the world. Practice restraint according to the discipline, and control the 5 sense faculties. Practice mindfulness of the body and continually develop dispassion towards it. Avoid the sign of the beautiful connected with passion, by meditating on the foul cultivate a mind that is concentrated and collected. Meditate on the signless and get rid of the tendency to conceit. By thoroughly understanding and destroying conceit you will live in the highest peace. In this manner the Lord repeatedly exhorted the Venerable Rahula. SNP 2.11. His stepmother, Mahapajapati Gautami. I have heard that at one time the Blessed One was staying at Visali, in the peaked roof hall in the great forest. Then Mahapajapati Gautami went to the Blessed One and, on arrival, having bowed down to him, stood to one side. As she was standing there she said to him, It would be good, Venerable Sir, if the Blessed One would teach me the Dhamma in brief such that, having heard the Dhamma from the Blessed One, I might dwell alone, secluded, heedful, ardent, and resolute. Gautami, the qualities of which you may know, these qualities lead to passion, not to dispassion, to being fettered, not to being unfettered, to accumulating, not to shedding, to self-aggrandizement, not to modesty, to discontent, not to contentment, to entanglement, not to seclusion, to laziness, not to aroused persistence, to being burdensome, not to being unburdensome, you may categorically hold, this is not the Dhamma, this is not the Vinaya, this is not the teacher's instruction. As for the qualities of which you may know, these qualities lead to dispassion, not to passion, to being unfettered, not to being fettered, to shedding, not to accumulating, to modesty, not to self-aggrandizement, to contentment, not to discontent, to seclusion, not to entanglement, to aroused persistence, not to laziness, to being unburdensome, not to being burdensome, you may categorically hold, this is the Dhamma, this is the Vinaya, this is the teacher's instruction. That is what the Blessed One said. Gratified, Mahapajapati Gautami delighted at his words. AN 8.53. And he guides his brother, Nanda, to arahantship. I have heard that on one occasion the Blessed One was staying near Savatthi, in Jita's grove, Anathapindika's monastery. Now at that time Venerable Nanda, the Blessed One's brother, son of his maternal aunt, told a large number of monks, I don't enjoy leading the holy life, my friends. I can't endure the holy life. Giving up the training, I will return to the common life. Then a certain monk went to the Blessed One and, on arrival, having bowed down to him, sat to one side. As he was sitting there, he told the Blessed One, Lord, Venerable Nanda, the Blessed One's brother, son of his maternal aunt, has told a large number of monks, I don't enjoy leading the holy life, my friends. I can't endure the holy life. Giving up the training, I will return to the common life. Then the Blessed One told a certain monk, Come, monk. In my name, call Nanda, saying, the teacher calls you, my friend. As you say, Lord, the monk answered and, having gone to Venerable Nanda, on arrival he said, the teacher calls you, my friend. As you say, my friend, Venerable Nanda replied. Then he went to the Blessed One and, on arrival, having bowed down to him, sat to one side. As he was sitting there, the Blessed One said to him, Is it true, Nanda, that you have told a large number of monks, I don't enjoy leading the holy life, my friends? I can't endure the holy life. Giving up the training, I will return to the common life. Yes, Lord. But why, Nanda, don't you enjoy leading the holy life? Lord, as I was leaving home, a Sakyan girl, the envy of the countryside, glanced up at me, with her hair half-combed, and said, Hurry back, master. Recollecting that, I don't enjoy leading the holy life. I can't endure the holy life. Giving up the training, I will return to the common life. Then, taking Venerable Nanda by the arm, as a strong man might flex his extended arm or extend his flexed arm, the Blessed One disappeared from Jita's grove and reappeared among the devas of the Tavatimsa heaven. Now at that time about 500 dove-footed nymphs had come to wait upon Sakka, the ruler of the devas. And the Blessed One said to Venerable Nanda, Nanda, do you see those 500 dove-footed nymphs? Yes, Lord. What do you think, Nanda, which is lovelier, better looking, more charming, the Sakyan girl, the envy of the countryside, or these 500 dove-footed nymphs? Lord, compared to these 500 dove-footed nymphs, the Sakyan girl, the envy of the countryside, is like a cauterized monkey with its ears and nose cut off. She doesn't count. She's not even a small fraction. There's no comparison. The 500 dove-footed nymphs are lovelier, better looking, more charming. Then take joy, Nanda. Take joy. I am your guarantee for getting 500 dove-footed nymphs. If the Blessed One is my guarantee for getting 500 dove-footed nymphs, I will enjoy leading the holy life under the Blessed One. Then, taking Venerable Nanda by the arm, as a strong man might flex his extended arm or extend his flexed arm, the Blessed One disappeared from among the devas of the Tavatimsa heaven and reappeared in Jita's grove. The monks heard, they say that Venerable Nanda, the Blessed One's brother, son of his maternal aunt, is leading the holy life for the sake of nymphs. They say that the Blessed One is his guarantee for getting 500 dove-footed nymphs. Then the monks who were friends of Venerable Nanda went around addressing him as they would a hired hand and a dealer. Our friend Nanda, they say, is a hired hand. Our friend Nanda, they say, is a dealer. He's leading the holy life for the sake of nymphs. The Blessed One is his guarantee for getting 500 dove-footed nymphs. Then Venerable Nanda, humiliated, ashamed, and disgusted that the monks who were his friends were addressing him as they would a hired hand and a dealer, went to dwell alone, secluded, heedful, ardent, and resolute. He in no long time entered and remained in the supreme goal of the holy life for which clansmen rightly go forth from home into homelessness, knowing and realizing it for himself in the here and now. He knew, birth is ended, the holy life fulfilled, the task done. There is nothing further for the sake of this world. And thus Venerable Nanda became another one of the arahants. UD 3.2 The Buddha's Last Days. Ananda notices that the Buddha is growing old. Now on that occasion the Blessed One, on emerging from seclusion in the late afternoon, sat warming his back in the western sun. Then Venerable Ananda went to the Blessed One and, on arrival, having bowed down to the Blessed One, massaged the Blessed One's limbs with his hand and said, "It's amazing, Lord. It's astounding, how the Blessed One's complexion is no longer so clear and bright, his limbs are flabby and wrinkled, his back, bent forward, there's a discernible change in his faculties, the faculty of the eye, the faculty of the ear, the faculty of the nose, the faculty of the tongue, the faculty of the body. That's the way it is, Ananda. When young, one is subject to aging, when healthy, subject to illness, when alive, subject to death. The complexion is no longer so clear and bright, the limbs are flabby and wrinkled, the back, bent forward, there's a discernible change in the faculties, the faculty of the eye, the faculty of the ear, the faculty of the nose, the faculty of the tongue, the faculty of the body." SN 48.41. To what refuge should the Buddha's followers turn after his death? Now I am frail, Ananda, old, aged, far gone in years. This is my 80th year, and my life is spent. Even as an old cart, Ananda, is held together with much difficulty, so the body of the Tathagata is kept going only with supports. It is, Ananda, only when the Tathagata, disregarding external objects, with the cessation of certain feelings, attains to and abides in the signless concentration of mind, that his body is more comfortable. Therefore, Ananda, be islands unto yourselves, refuges unto yourselves, seeking no external refuge, with the Dhamma as your island, the Dhamma as your refuge, seeking no other refuge. And how, Ananda, is a bhikkhu an island unto himself, a refuge unto himself, seeking no external refuge, with the Dhamma as his island, the Dhamma as his refuge, seeking no other refuge? When he dwells contemplating the body in the body, earnestly, clearly comprehending, and mindfully, after having overcome desire and sorrow in regard to the world, when he dwells contemplating feelings in feelings, the mind in the mind, and mental objects in mental objects, earnestly, clearly comprehending, and mindfully, after having overcome desire and sorrow in regard to the world, then, truly, he is an island unto himself, a refuge unto himself, seeking no external refuge. Having the Dhamma as his island, the Dhamma as his refuge, seeking no other refuge. DN 16.
Dot.